some updates or some breaking news out of Aruba in regards to the Paulus Vander Sloot lawsuit. Again, try and say that 3 times real fast, against Aruba, and some interesting information that came out of there. And I thought, why not go to the best source in Aruba, the man who knows the information, what's going on, Jossy, managing editor of Dario. Jossy, how are you this evening?
Pretty good, sir. Thank you.
Nice to have you back on the program again. You're always welcome here. There's some news on the Holloway case, in particular the lawsuit that Paulus had filed against Aruba. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, he won in the first instance in the lower courts. He won a reward for about 40,000 guilders.
Right.
That's close to $22,000. And then the prosecution appealed the case, but Paulus also appealed the case because he wanted more money. He considered that he wasn't rewarded strongly enough.
Okay.
And Friday we had the sentence of the Superior Court of Justice that told him he's not going to get 1 cent. The sentence did not favor him absolutely, but it also brought forward a few points that most of us weren't aware of. No?
Okay, let's share some of those points. They're very, very interesting.
Yeah, one of the points is that Paulus on the Sloot, in a tapped, not taped, but a tapped conversation on the phone, admitted that he had picked up Joran, his son, and Natalie at the McDonald's at Palm Beach, at the northern tip of the island. We didn't know that. We knew he picked up a son, but very few people knew that he picked up Natalie with Joran. Now, this came out in the sentence of the Superior Court that he had contact with her on 2 occasions the same night that she disappeared. Now, that's very interesting, and it puts some kind of new angle to the case, because we weren't aware that on that day, that night, he had any kind of personal contacts with Natalie specifically.
Right, and part of the ruling says, with attention to the lying declarations that the son of Paulus, Joran Andres Petrus Vander Sloot, hereafter Joran, gave about his last contact on the 30th of May 2005 with the disappearance of Natalie Holloway, the suspicion is not unreasonable that he made himself guilty of a conduct that can be qualified as murder, manslaughter, or the kidnapping that resulted in the death. The possible involvement of Paulus with that could then be deducted from the file with the official reports of the witnesses, amongst which 2 people suggest a contact existed between Paulus and Natalie Holloway the night of her disappearance, and a TAP report that was given by the prosecutor in her final note to the court. Let's talk a little bit, Jossy, about that apparent picture. We go back to the casino, and there was always the talk of a picture of someone that sure looked like Paulus sitting beside Natalie. This brings kind of a whole new light to that now, doesn't it?
It sure does. It means that he did have contact with her, not only at the casino table, but at some other point and some place else. Now, the sentence doesn't specify where. It specifies one of the contacts that he had, but he had 2 contacts with her according to the sentence. Now, the second contact, we don't know where it took place, neither do we know at what time it took place. But it's very interesting that the Superior Court of Justice now brings forth an information that only the prosecution had in its power, in its possession. And I imagine that the prosecution never revealed any of this to the public because they were saving it for the case that they have to bring to court yet.
And you think with this new information, it would now complicit or make Paulus Vander Sloot more complicit in this whole matter, and maybe he should have spent some more time in jail than he actually did.
That is my opinion also. And I don't know why he was asking for money. I mean, how can you reward someone that is so deeply involved in the disappearance and possible murder of a young girl that visited Aruba with her classmates